welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed. And this time around I will show you 3 different games again, and because we are in the Christmas time, of course, and it's, I think, this 22nd of December, it's probably going to be one of the games that is more or less Christmas themed. It's xMas Lite, which is the first one I will show you. It's really a small little game I want to show you there. And the other ones are not Christmas themed, just because I think that not everything that is Christmas themed is automatically good or whatever. So we are going to have a look at Alien Scum and Zombies Ops 3D Shooter in this episode. Yeah, and of course I have my little small little setup here, which is going to help us to play all these games. And one of the companions there is, of course, my Arc mouse, which is recharged now, and I can use it again. And of course, the other one is the Foldable keyboard, which is this keyboard here for keyboard input. Of course, I'm going to use the Xbox One as wireless controller in this episode because there's one game that can use this. And of course, the main thing in this whole setup is, of course, Lumia 950 XL, which is this smartphone here with Windows 10 Mobile on it. It has a leather back at the moment, so the back cover is a leather one from Mozo. And it has, of course, a USB-C connector at the bottom, which can be connected with, for example, this USB-C cable I'm using here, with my display dock, which is at this point, and the display dock itself is connected to the TV using HDMI, and like that I can show you this screen here more or less, which is a desktop, kind of desktop-like version of Windows 10, mobile in this case of course. And like that I can, for example, use all my different input devices and stuff like that to use it more or less like a desktop. And yeah, this is what this is all about. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner there. You might find a little bit more of information there in one of the other videos I connected with this video there. And yeah, I would say then let's start with the first game. I hope you are at least a little bit into the Christmas part, because this is a Christmas title and it's called xMas Lite. It's really quite hard to play if you ask me, but whatever. It is really a nice little game. And what you have to do in this case is you are a small little center, whatever, in pixel optics in this case, and you are going to slide with your sleigh, of course, down a certain path, and you have to avoid the obstacles which are going to be there, which is, for example, trees and snowmans and stuff like that. And you just shouldn't hit them, because otherwise you're going to fall off your sleigh, and that is nothing you want to be happening there. Yeah, as you can see, quite simple optics here. As I said before, it's more or less Christmas themed per part, and of course, as you can see, we have, for example, the xMas Lite here. What you're going to use to navigate through this game is only your mouse, or if you're going to play it on your screen, your touch screen, for example, you're going to use your finger, of course. And it's more or less a one single button steering option here. Because what you're going to do is, if you are pressing the button, I think you are going to slide on the left side. If you are not pressing the button, you're going to slide on the right side. And so you have to have a look that you're trying to get through this path. You can see already here. And what I said before, you want to hit, for example, the trees here, and there are going to be stuff in the way anyway. And what I have to say to this game is that it's really quite hard to play, because you're going to have quite a high velocity sooner or later, and like that it's not really easy to play this. And so I'm going to die a lot in this game, just to let you know. Okay, so let's first have a look at different options we have here. For example, we can go to this option panel where you will not find too many interesting parts, so more or less just if you want to have the music, if you want to have sound in this game, and then you can of course use Facebook to share it with your friends, and you can rate it. Here you will have a small little information how to play this game. We can click on that just for now, and it's more or less just this little screen. And yeah, what you can see here of course is that if you are tapping, you're going to turn to the left, and if you're not tapping, you're going to turn to the right. And that is all that is this game about. And yeah, remove ads, of course. It's not really problematic with the ads, sorry. It's only going to be this little banner here. If you really want to get rid of that, you can of course buy that, and otherwise just play it. So what we can do here is, for example, we can change our figure, our character we are playing. At the moment that's not really an option because everything is quite expensive to do here. So if you, for example, want to have another guy at this point, you can already see a little bit of a preview of it. It's not very easy to see, I think. Yeah, it's just blended out more or less. And I think this is going to be some kind of a skeleton guy or whatever. But you can see, you can just change it to many different things. And here you can already see how much that will cost you. And as you can see, we are going to have to play a little bit more to be able to afford that. Otherwise, we are just going to use Santa in this case. And of course, you can, for example, use different slides here too. So if you, for example, want to use something different here, you have to buy it too. And yeah, as you already know, it's quite expensive to do that. And we are not going to be able to do that in this episode for now. Okay, and if you are fine with it, just click here, and we are going to play, and it's going to start already. And as you can see, I already died here. As you can see, we are just going to use one mouse button to steer this, and just holding the mouse button will just slide you around, and releasing the mouse button will steer to the right. Holding the mouse button will steer to the left, and that's going to be a continuous steering. So if you want to, for example, go straight or something, that's more or less not possible. You really have to have a good feeling how to use this, and there is a delay in that, which is of course necessary more or less, because it's meant to be a physical correct game more or less, and because of that delay, it's really hard to get this game to work, I think. Okay, so let's try again. We are just starting. As you can see, we can now try to go around here, and yeah, there was this delay I told you about. Even though I have already left the mouse button, he needs some time to steer around, and if you are just too fast with that, it's not going to happen. And there we go. There is one of the obstacles I told you about, and you want, of course, to collect all these little presents here. But just to let you know, I am not really able to go a lot farther than I already did here, because it's really extremely hard, because the speed is just increasing that much that I think it's more or less impossible to steer here in a much better way. Maybe you find it not impossible, so try it out. I am not good enough at this kind of game to play it in a really good fashion, but I like the concept of it. It's quite nice of a concept, if you ask me. Sometimes you're going to get some kind of advertisement in here. It's not going to be very, very important or very, very disturbing, of course, but it's there. If you want to for example, support the developer, please have a look at that and just watch one or two of them. And there are different options here too. For example, you get some rewards if you are just playing this. So I think 30 or something like that of the coins or the presents I already got here is really from this one. And then, of course, you can, for example, watch, for example, some kind of advertisement if you want to get additional ones, and then you can, for example, buy it here. Or you can go and buy, of course, presents. I'm not a big fan of such things, but if you want to do that, you can do it. As you can see, you can get quite a lot of presents here for quite a high number after a while, but whatever. What I like here is that you, for example, can just upload some kind of an image when you are more or less, yeah, died in what way ever, and yeah, it can be put up in a GIF or a PNG format, for example, and then you can just upload it and bring it back. Quite nice, if you ask me. Okay, so let's get out of this game because there's nothing more I can show you here. Just try it out. Maybe you're much better than I am. I can't play this very well, but whatever. So let's have a look at the next game, which is Alien Scum. It might be familiar, more or less, if you ask me, because it's more or less like Space Invaders. In a little bit of a modern fashion, if you ask me, a little bit more at least. It's going to work with the Xbox One as wireless controller, so I'm going to use this. And yeah, it's quite a nice game if you ask me, because it's really a nice iteration of it. It's more or less classical, but not really, because you have some kind of power-ups, and the enemies are really firing a lot faster than in the original game, and that is something you really have to be aware of. The good thing about it is that you're not dying at the first contact or something, but you have some kind of a shield and stuff like that. And there are these power-ups which help you to play this in a better way and stuff like that. I really like it. And it's called Alien Scum. There we are. And as I mentioned it before, just use your gamepad if you want to. I like it very much with the gamepad. And what you're going to need here is, depending on your settings, more or less only the stick. If you deactivate auto fire, which can be done in the settings, I think, then you have to use one of the buttons to fire with it too. And yeah, here we are. As you can see, you can navigate here, if there would be something to be navigated. Here is the start button. You can just use the A button to go on. And as you can see, here we are. And it's pretty fast for an Invaders game, as you can see. And for example, you can navigate through all the stuff. I will now turn around because it's really too fast to play it in a different way. And what you already may have noticed is that you, for example, can play different, that there are going to be different enemies, of course. There is, for example, a main enemy, whatever you want to call that, and you can play on and on again. You have to be very aware of when the enemy is firing at you. And if I'm hit now again, I'm dead again, which is going to happen probably. As you can see, there are all these different things falling from the sky there. And of course, as always, I'm dying. As always, the enemy should not reach the screen below. So try to kill most of them. And what I really like about this game too is that you may have noticed what these aliens are looking like. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I really like it. And we are trying, and died again, and we are trying to do it. It's a little bit disturbing, I think, with all this very large explosions going on there, but still I like it, and I think you should try it. Died again. But as you can see, the enemy is firing very fast here. The enemy is moving quite fast too, but that is not really a problem there. The interesting part about this, in comparison to the original game, for example, is that you can move with this controller here. and that you can move with this controller without any kind of step system or something. So it's not digital that you have a certain point where you can move to, but it's really analog to go where you want to, so you can stay pretty much where you want. And now we can, for example, change, of course, if we want to, our name, for example, here, in a very old-fashioned way, of course, as you can see. And there we are. Go. And as you can see, we reached some kind of a level here. And this is more or less all that is to this game. You're just going to fight the enemy guys. And I find it still, and it's really a very, very old style of game here and stuff like that, but I still find it quite amusing and quite addictive for some reason or the other. How much you're going to play this is of course up to you, but as you can see, I can play this quite a lot, and I still find it demanding and interesting to play this. This was very close. As you can see, we only have 3 left. But this is more or less a game. I really like it. If you like it too, just download it. It's very, very fun to play. And of course, with gamepad support and stuff like that, I really like it. Yeah, much more even. And so, I would say this might be my best one. I'm not sure. Yeah, my best option here, my best try till now. As you can see, yeah, quite hard to play, but quite nice to play too. Okay, so let's go out of this for now. Can just click on that to go back to the screen here. I would recommend you to use the real closing button there, otherwise you will see it down below, because I think the system itself doesn't really allow to close apps in that kind of fashion. If that happens, just go click on it again, click there, and it should be away. Yeah, and now let's have a look at the last game we're going to play in this episode, which is Zombie Ops 3D Shooter. And yeah, it is a 3D shooter, as we already played a couple of them, but there it is already. But what I really like about it is that you are going to not have to wait too long for reloading and stuff like that. It's really quite nice to play this game. And yeah, it's zombie themed, so it's a very proper game for playing it at Christmas, of course. And in the end, we are going to play this with the mouse, for example. As you can see, it's more or less dark theme, but not really. And it is more or less realistic. So maybe nothing you should play with your children or something, if they're too small at least. And in the end, you may notice the GUI here, because the user interface is more or less what you are used to from this kind of game. As you can see, we have the arsenal where you can, for example, switch your weapons and stuff like that. The mission part is where you are going to play it. Here you can just go to mute your game, and these are the options. I'm not going to click on that because I experienced once a crash with this. You don't really have to go in there. If you want to try it out. I'm not sure if it would crash again, but I'm not going to go into that now. And we are going to have a look at the campaign in this case. I'm just going to click on that. And I think we should start again with the first one. And we're just going to click on that. As you can see, we have some kind of an energy level here. So we still have 10 energy points left in this case. And there will be a new one in a second or something. Now it's 11, and it takes 10 minutes to recover that. And after that, you can of course use one of the energy points and go into this. And yeah, I'm just going to start this now. And we are going to play this with the mouse. And what you need with the mouse is more or less your left button of course, to play. to fire your weapon, of course, the right button to go into zoom mode, and then what you have to do now is to defend your little base here against zombies. And here you have, of course, your rifle, more or less. At the first missions you are going to get a quite nice rifle, and now just shoot the different zombies here and just kill them. As you can see, they are going to kill your gate, and if I'm not fast enough, and I was fast enough, I would lose this again. But as you can see, this is more or less what you have to do here. So shoot zombies against someone. You cannot move from your stationary point where you are going to be. And now you just have to kill the different enemies going in here. Of course, you get different ratings, which are this medallion part here. So if you are going to, for example, kill all of these in a very fast fashion so that your gate is not going to go down or something, you are of course getting more points for that, and of course a higher revenue for that too. And yeah, there is going to be some kind of advertisement as this one here. You can of course skip that after quite a small time. With 2 clicks it's again gone then. And now we can, for example, go to the second game here. The second mission we are going to play at this point is against I think it's just a zombie which really takes a lot more to shoot at. So you are going to need a couple of good shots against this one. Otherwise you are going to die. And it's more or less only one. If you are clicking a second time on your zoom button, so the right button, you're going to be in a higher zoom mode, more or less. And now try to kill him. And as I said told you before, this zombie is going to be a lot harder to kill. And here are a couple of other ones. And I think I'm going to die here now. Yeah, they got me. Let's try that again. So as you can see, you really have to be aware that the zombies shouldn't get to your point. So I think on the right side there's going to be 1 or 2 of them. Let's shoot first on this guy, because he just takes a lot of shots here. And now let's see where the other guys are. They are here. The good thing about them is that they are more or less running in one line for you. Okay. So that worked out pretty well. And now we just have to kill that guy, which takes a lot of shots, as you can see here. But if you are going to hit him at the last point, you are going to see this little sequence, which is more or less following the bullet that is killing him. And as you can see, we got that. And now we are going to have our first own weapon. So because we are going to, I'm not sure if we can keep this very good sniper rifle we have at the moment. It's going to be a little bit of less good one in the next episodes here, or the next missions, more or less. But let's see what we can do here. So let's play one last one. As you can see, we now have this kind of sniper rifle, which is probably not that good as the other ones. And now let's see where the guys are coming from. And as you can see, you can really turn around 360 degrees, more or less. Yeah, and you see it here. Much less of a good rifle. but at least there are not too many of those guys at the moment. And as you can see, you really should kill them very, very soon. And for that it's called a sniper game, of course. And the only good thing about this is that they are killed by one shot. Pretty much not important where you are hitting them. Just get them soon enough. That was a very good kill. Try again. And I think we got this level done too. Yeah, I'm not going to play all of these levels here because you should play them, of course, too, by yourself. But in the end, this is more or less a game. You are going to have a sniper game against zombies in this case. You can turn around pretty much everywhere you want. And you really have to defend your base in this case. And it's more or less a quite nice game, especially if you are, for example, a little bit annoyed by your family or something. It might be a good idea to play this game and not argue too much with your family over the Christmas days. And because of that, try it out. It's really a nice game for such things. And yeah, it's downloadable in the Microsoft Store. And I think it's quite a nice game. Try it out. Yeah, so thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I think this is the end of this episode now. I hope and wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas for all of you and your family, of course. I hope you have a nice time. Try to relax a little bit in the next couple of days. And yeah, probably we are going to see us. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we are going to see us before the New Year's Eve. So probably we are going to see us then. And so have a nice day. Till the next episode. Hope you had fun with this one. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, if you have any kind of questions, for example, please write them in the comments. If you are still not subscribed to this channel, please consider that, of course, to not, for example, miss one of the episodes or something. And like that, have a nice day, have a nice week, have a nice celebration, of course. And I hope we are going to see us in this next episode next week soon. So have a nice day, see you, and bye bye.